This video is showing you some tips about posters for your research projects. So here's the landing page of the course, and you should go into the research project area, and you can see the guidelines for the research project are still there. Don't forget to look at it. This is what it looks like. Don't forget to be looking at this and making sure you're meeting the requirements. Okay, this video is about the poster. I'll do another video about the presentations. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so what I've added just now is this folder of poster templates and video tips. There will be another folder here shortly with the research presentation video for tips for that. Okay, let's go into this one. So what I've given you is a couple of folders here. After I finish this video, there'll be a link here to watch this video. But let's look at this first. These are screenshots of some posters I have made just to give you ideas. Now, your poster is going to be image heavy, so keep that in mind. You will have text, of course, but it will be image heavy, okay? You don't have to do a ton of writing, and in this example, you can see where I have images interspersed with text, but the text was more important than the images. The images were mostly supplemental, so they're smaller. You probably are going to need at least a couple of images that are larger than these, okay? But you see how there's a balance of images and text. That is always a good idea. And you have headings and everything's in the same font, and you have equal white space as you go up and down the poster between the columns, right? When you move your text boxes around, pay attention because there'll be like these snap lines that you can make sure everything is in line with each other. When you're moving these around, snap them in line. Here, while I'm talking about that, let me show you. Here's my PowerPoint presentation with it's a different one, but that's okay. So as you move it around, see those lines that are appearing? That's to help you make them snap into place depending on what you're trying to align it with. Okay, so just make sure that you're moving things around with intention, right, to make it line up. See how that lines up all the way down through the next paragraph and the side of the images. Okay. All right. So make sure you're thinking about those things when you're making your poster. All images should have captions. And every section should have a heading. Paragraphs shouldn't be too long. Divide them up into smaller chunks. That helps with readability for a poster. Okay, here's another example. This is an image heavy poster. This was a little more of a fun poster. Depends on your audience, right? My audience for this one, it was a little more light. So the pictures were more fun and less about research and more about the experience that I had in Peru. So, but I used kind of a cool map here and another map, right? Make sure you have maps of your location, at least one. Again, you can see how things are mostly lined up. I didn't do as good of a job with lining things up in columns on this one. This poster, I used a satellite image as the background because my image was really important wasn't important for this particular research project. This was more of a sharing a service learning experience that I ran with Dr. Levine in education, but I wanted to show this cool image, so I used it as my background, where it also is part of the poster where you're looking, and then I had overlays on top of it. This textbook box is kind of opaque. You can add transparency to shapes. So that's an example. Be cautious with this kind of an option because it could make things look really bad really easily. So be careful if you choose an option like that. Okay, here's a very clean one where again this was really text heavy because it was showcasing a chapter I wrote in a book, so I was using a lot of text from the chapter. But it has images with captions and it's all lined up and it's very clean. Then you can use a little color here and there with text boxes. Okay, so those are some templates or some examples, some screenshots of some posters I have done just to give you ideas. Let's go back. Now in here, if you go in to templates, the PowerPoint files were so large I had to load them to SharePoint. So this link will take you to the SharePoint site for our class. Did you know we had one? I just learned that today. So we have a SharePoint site for our class, and it looks like this. When you click on that, you just have to be logged in to your Oniana account, and here are 3 files that you can use. This file is the smaller dimensions. It's a 40-inch by 32-inch setup, and then the larger one, if you need more space, is 44 by 36. You are required to use either of those 2 dimensions. So 40 by 32 or 44 by 36. And you can either just start with the templates, or when you're in PowerPoint, if you go to Design, right, this is where it would open. If you go to Design and you go to Slide Size and then go to Page Setup, this is where you can select what your width and height will be. So you're required to use 40 inches wide by 32 inches high, or 44 width by 36 height. Okay, but that's where you do it in the slide size page setup. Okay, get this back out of here. So the SharePoint site has those PowerPoint files that you can start with. If you would like, you can also start on your own. That's totally up to you. Okay, let's go back. So that's the link to the SharePoint site. You can download those files. And then these are the screenshots of the 3 different templates that I've given you. So I've removed my content and just given you some, right, these represent images, these are text boxes. These are the headings you're required to use. So I put them in already. And I've used text sizes, font size, that you should stick with. So don't make your text too big or too small. And the templates have the perfect size font. If you change this font size at all, you shouldn't change it much, but everything should be uniform. And I've shown you the research questions section where you just lay out your research questions. This sort of thing, after you give a sentence about your research questions, and then you have them laid out in bullets. Here's another template. This was just a different format, showing you how you can do things a little differently. And again, you still have captions, although this time I used colored caption boxes. And here's another example, which is the same file as this one. I just removed the background image, so it's much cleaner. And you can certainly change background colors. Just be careful because some background colors look really bad. So just be careful of that. Okay, and these just represent images. So there is, I think I'm done with this video. Just thinking, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, if you have any questions, or let me know, but using PowerPoint is your best bet. And then you can save it as a PDF. Yes, that's important. Save it as a PDF before you upload, or the file's going to be huge and it's not going to upload. So please save it as a PDF. In case you don't know how to do it, let me go in here. You go to Home, you go to Oh, you have to go up above. It doesn't show in this video. So I'm going to File, Save As, or Export. It opens up and I'm going to export as a PDF. That's how you do it. Okay. So you can do Save As and choose PDF, or you can choose File in the menu and then Export. Okay. All right. Check out my other videos, but this one is over.